Welcome, future masters. Do I have a game for you? Well, yes, I do. This is another Benoni turned Smith Morra gambit. So let's get it. Accepted. If black plays knight takes e5, white plays knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. And this position is kind of annoying, especially in a speed game. This position would be very difficult for black. It's even. The computer, ranks it as a 0, but the practical problems make it super difficult. So it's not bad for white at all. His king is, kind of. There's going to be a multitude of tactics to watch out for. So he decides not to play the greedy version, even with e6. So I'm happy with that because I'm going to play knight d6 check. So white can play b4 to the response to the check, but I was like, well, you know what? In a speed game, I'm not 100% going to calculate this, so forget that. Let's just do the straightforward bishop d2, check him. It's all super solid after bishop c3. Don't get crazy. Don't try to be a superstar beyond your ability. You got where you are, whatever level that is, by being who you are. So now is not the time to try and do something that you think might be objectively correct, but not something you've practiced or prepared for. Be yourself. You'll do better. You're not going to be perfect no matter what. So that's the deal. So I played this the way that I saw it to be played. I've got no complaints. All right, there. I didn't like queen to a4. I thought bishop b5 was right, and man, there's all kinds of tactics of knight captures bishop and queen takes d7 that I had not even considered. Later on they show up, and it just validates that bishop to b5 was a better move. I'm not going to let him take my bishop. I ain't stupid. He did come up with a lot of crazy tactics and threats. So what is he trying to do to me is the key. Well, he's trying to play knight f5, to tell you the truth, to try and get that knight out of his face, which is a smart move because that knight is a butcher. I'm locking his entire queen side down with that knight on d6. So he changed his mind, knight to g4. And the move I had planned is one the computer recommended, but like an idiot, I forgot about it and didn't play it. I was worried about this. Oh yeah, he had triple attacked my e-pawn, but like an idiot, I was planning on queen e5 check, which he can't really take. I mean, he can't really go f6 because I'd hit him with check. This is what I should have played. I didn't. He can't play this, as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell, this is not good for him. So if he takes with the knight, I'm just going to pile up on this guy, right? I mean, I've got this guy 6 ways to Sunday. heck, it's even better. F6 really loses to this. It's like robs him in broad daylight. Okay. So anyway, he goes knight g4. And I really had literally planned to play queen g5, but I didn't realize that that's also protecting the pawn. That was why I played queen to d2, which turned out to be the best move available. Because I said, I'm going to check you, and f6 is just doom. Which it is. Oh well. But mistakes were made, as the saying goes. Nobody's perfect. So he's like, yeah, I better go back and threaten this pawn. I'm like, well, he does have ideas of taking this pawn to the point at where this knight is undefended. So yeah, rook to d1. I'm looking at this before this move came up. That yes, rook to d1 defends this knight and is the obvious better move. h3 is fine. Again, I'm stopping knight f5. That's what g4 is to do, is to stop knight f5. So, and I missed the concept of e takes f6, check. I didn't analyze the computer. The computer said e takes f6 is the move, which is pretty devastating. Because you have e takes f6. If he takes with the bishop, you take with the bishop. King takes, queen e5, check, Karunchy. So he's got problems. I don't think he really he can't really survive. I'm sorry, I don't have queen takes e5. I have to take this first. But, oh well, it doesn't matter. I played g5. So it's not bad. It's just that I had a better move, and that was e takes f6. So that was the old, this question mark here is as you look at my bar, it's not that this is a bad move. It's just that e takes f6 was better. So let's look at this, and you'll see the bar probably climb like a maniac. The bar, yeah, is a maniac. So this is a question mark, not because it's bad, but because it is less effective than the other move that I should have played but didn't even consider. So I'm not letting him take my pawn. Rook d1 is another killer move, actually. I don't know why I didn't play it, but it's okay. He finally plays it. Knight takes e5. So I realize that knight is now hanging, so I jettison the knight, taking the bishop with check. You see my bar is still nasty. It's bad news for him. Goodbye, knight. I only have 4 attackers. He has 2 defenders. But most importantly, I have 2 cheap attackers first. That queen is not in the greatest location. I considered that rook takes c3 was his best move. I considered that option. And I guess if he takes it, I would just play pawn takes. I really don't have, anything better. Or I could play knight takes, actually. Rook takes, knight takes, king takes, pawn takes. So he's going to be down material. But this is Warsola. And this, he just ends up being a piece down unless he gets stupid. Unless he gets stupid. He got stupid. At the very least, this move is inferior to queen f6 check. Just at the very least, okay? Queen takes free rook. That's what my father would say. And then you can take my bishop, so, whatever, dude. You were an exchange down. Actually, you were a bishop down. And now I took a rook, he took the bishop. So he lost an exchange being a bishop down, so it becomes a rook down. It's over. A day late, $1 short, rook d1. Oh well, it's okay. Not a big deal. But the precision was off. Rook to d1 needed to be played multiple times earlier for precision. But in a game in 3 minutes, you can't argue with what I played. But there were, rook d1 was a better move multiple times. No question about it. The thing is, this game is a great example of many things. Number one, I say blitz chess is bad for you. You play moves, you're going to play inferior moves that are still good moves, but not as good as you could have played if you played a longer term game. What you also saw was that the value of rook to d1 multiple times the computer suggested, and it was right every time. I mean, it was just a great move. It solidifies the position and keeps that knight firmly just locked onto d6. I mean, that's it. But the thing about blitz chess, though, this is goof off stuff, and I play these games just to goof off and also hopefully get a game like this, something that's interesting or instructive, or hopefully both. And this one I think was both. So you're not going to get better playing blitz chess, okay? You're just not. You want to get better at chess, you need to play some serious moves where you have to do some serious thinking. Every good player will tell you this. But in blitz chess, if you're going to play, some goof off, whatever, the blitz chess game is like a test. It tests the things that you know and have worked on. So in blitz chess, one of the things that you do, and you saw me do it here, is I played good, solid moves relatively quickly. Did I play a couple moves maybe too fast? Usually the answer is yes. I'm sure I did multiple times. It's the positive and the negative. You got to take the positive and the negative too. So I played some moves a little too fast to keep the flow of the game going. But the blitz chess favors good, solid moves at a relatively fast pace rather than taking a long time to play one really good move, unless it's at a key thing where your life is hanging by a thread, or the other king is hanging by a thread. So there's a lot of lessons you can catch off of this game. But to me, I always say this, blitz chess is bad for you. I didn't get to where I am by being a blitz chess player. I'm okay for my rating. It may be low. I'm a lower blitz class player than my rating is, because I do my best work when I have the option. I normally don't spend a lot of time making moves, but sometimes you got to spend 10 or 15 minutes. It's just, that's the way it is. As your level increases, you get to the master level, there's going to be times and positions where you're going to have to spend 5 to 20 minutes going, what am I doing for the near future in this position? Or, are you finding some killer combination? You're going to have to work through it. That's just the reality if you want to be a strong player. Not everybody is born as a Bobby Fischer or a Garry Kasparov or Magnus Carlsen, where they're just, gifted beyond belief. Mikhail Tal, another genius attacker. Okay, these guys are super rare. You got to take care of your business and learn these things proper. They all learned the game properly as well. That's why they were such good players at all time limits. Bobby Fischer was one of those guys that was better than his rating at speed chess, I think, relative to the rest of the world. He was great anyway, but he was an absolute monster at speed chess. Some people, it's why great musicians are great musicians, and they're usually greater on one instrument than the other, because for whatever reason, that is it for them, that they can be great at multiple instruments, but there's one that they're just better at. And that's the thing, that's just a talent thing. That's nothing you can really plan out. So the thing about Blitz Chess is don't put a lot of stock in Blitz Chess. It's very addictive, and I relate it to Halloween candy. Halloween candy is fantastic, but a 4 or 5-year-old kid with a bag of Halloween candy is going to eat so much candy, it's going to be bad. He might get sick or whatever, because he lacks the discipline to not go to town. It's candy. I mean, come on. You remember those early days of Halloween? Man, I'm telling you, those were fantastic. It was absolutely a fantastic thing for me in the late 60s and throughout the 70s. I mean, Halloween was something that was really awesome. I mean, it's okay, these days as well. But in my era, it was awesome. It was just literally awesome. But so Blitz Chess is like Halloween candy. Too much of it is bad for you. There's nothing wrong with having 3 or 4 pieces of candy. No problem. Same thing with Blitz Chess. You want to play in a Blitz Chess tournament where you might play 20 or 25 games? Well, that's a tournament. That's a different story. There's a competition there. That's beyond the addiction level. Like I played in, Blitz Chess tournament where we played. It was a round robin. You played everybody 2 games, 1 white, 1 black. And then, I want to say I played about 24 games or 20, 26, whatever it was. And, it lasted about 3 or 4 hours, I guess, at my club. But it was just like, there was like, we would meet, doesn't matter what day of the week, but on one of those months, we had a 4-round tournament, and then there was a 5th day of we're going to call it Tuesday. The 5th Tuesday of the month shows up at some point, and then we're like, we had nothing to do. It's like, hey, why don't we just have a speed chess tournament, just to do something different. And everybody was like, that's an awesome idea. So we had one speed chess tournament. We did that one. It was a good goof around fun. That's all it was for, is goof around fun. Those games didn't mean anything. You got to play some stuff. You got to see, you just got to see stuff. It was all good. So don't get too fixated on speed chess. It's very addictive, and it's very bad for you in general, because it gets you away from playing accurate moves. Speed is a little more rewarded than accuracy to a certain degree. So that's the thing. But I wanted to show you, because this was a pretty good game, and you saw me. I played some moves that were, less than perfect. Because I'm playing practical chess to win, and not spending all day working on this business. I should have played Queen G5 check, and that was my plan, and then I, forgot my own plan like a dummy. This is speed chess for you. So I say speed chess, Blitz Chess. It's the same exact thing, but I'm just used to it really as speed chess, whatever you want to call it. Rook to D1, idiot. I should have played Rook to D1. What are you gonna do? So that was fine. But again, there's another one. E takes F6, dummy. So I have to call myself out for the stupidity of not playing the moves that I should have played. Rook to d1 again, right? Yes, sir. h4 is decent, but rook d1 again. So if you want to be better, you got to be more. You got to gain accuracy, and that happens really at a slower time. Rapid chess, and I was talking to this guy, and 30 minutes or longer is what you need. 30 minutes, game in 30 minutes or game in 60 minutes. You don't want to get caught up in this speed, whatever. For some people, game in 10 minutes is enough, but if your rating is low, game in 30 minutes. I'm telling you. You got to think, because the lower rated player thinks slower, he knows less. I'm just telling you, this is my recommendation if you want to be really good. It's hard to be really good, and you're not going to half-ass your way to getting there. Trust me. It's just not going to happen. If you don't do your work, you're not going to succeed. So do your work, and Blitz Chess is not the work. So hopefully you enjoy this one. Pretty nice game. Had a lot of good lessons in here, plus and minus. Okay, I could have played better. I played very, very well, but could have played even better. And I'm not complaining. It's like I said, it's a test. It tests your ability. And the computer was like, well, rook d1. I'm like, yeah, I could have been better, but I was really solid, which is fine. That's how come I won. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's about 22 minutes. I'll see you guys next time.